Okay. So the next question is mine, and it's how close is Malia to her sisters? In the book, only one showed up to the graduation. Where were the other two? So Malia's other sisters didn't show up, and they don't have beef or anything like that. But their rationale, as we will see, because it's going to come up at the wedding scene here, that's coming very shortly, the wedding of the year. Okay, it's going to come up that like, well, they didn't come, and it was like, well, there was no point of flying out for your graduation when the wedding was right around the corner, and we could just do something then. And so I think it's just kind of telling of like, Malia's not going to call it out and say, I don't feel like I'm a priority in this family. I think that her sisters kind of had the same idea that Nana had. I mean, how many more graduations we got to sit through? Like, like this isn't anything special. Like this ain't nothing exciting. Like flying out for another piece of paper. I'll send you flowers. I'll send you a card. So it's like I said, it's definitely going to come. It's going to come up in a like couple more chapters at the wedding scene. That this is going to be this little reflection of kind of like y'all really aren't showing up for her. You know what I mean? And I mean, I personally, I understand. I understand. I've had a lot of times where if something special was happening to my life, people in my family will figure out a way. Well, we'll just celebrate it at Christmas in 6 months to a year. We'll just, ain't no point in making nothing special. That ain't special. It is special to me, but.
Right.
So
right.
I think she's close. She loves them, but again, they are off being busy bees. Like they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing based on the society standards. They have children and they have a husband who they help to raise as well, and running after him, make sure his clothes is clean and his pants is folded on the creases. Like they are living up to that.
I know that's the truth.
I'm telling you, a lot of people out here raising men, baby.
Out here just raising these dusties. Like, God, I gotta make me a
yeah. I'm not like, I love my husband, but I have to tell him sometimes, sir, I didn't sign up for a fourth child, and there are things that I can do for you as a wife, and I have no problem with doing it. But there are times where I'll just be transparent. He'd be like, well, my toenails are getting long. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And he'd be like, are you gonna clip my toenails for me? And I'd be like, well, why is that my responsibility? He's like, because you've done it for years. And I'm like, I don't think I want to clip toenails anymore. Like there'll be times like I'll rub my husband's feet and I would give him a little pedicure and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore. So I haven't done it in a while, I don't know, a couple years now. And so he still will come to me like, my toenails need to be clipped. And I'm like, well, clip them. And he's like, but you can't. Like, I like it when you like clip my nails and you file everything for me. And I'm like, I don't have a fourth child. I did those things I wanted to be nice, but now I don't feel like doing it anymore. You see what I'm saying? It's not because he did anything to make me mad. I think the problem was, it was because it became expected of me to do it. It wasn't, she's doing this out of love. Because a lot of people don't know this about me, but I've always like, I don't think I've ever done this for you guys because y'all probably think I was crazy anyway, but I always had like, I don't know, let me just make it clear. I don't have a foot fetish. Let's make that clear. Let's make it clear. I don't have a foot fetish. But growing up as a kid, my mom always had, no, don't do that. But growing up as a kid, my mom would always be like, rub my feet. And so I was always used to like rubbing her feet or clipping her toenails and stuff like that. And so I don't know, I guess when you see your man and his feet ain't where it's supposed to be at, you're like, come here, let me just, cause you get tired of looking at that. Cause you're like, I chose somebody whose toes is jacked up, right? So then you start to feel like, what's that say about me, right? So then you're like, okay, get one of the little foot baths, put your feet in there, do your thug thizzle, then I'll come and I'll do that for you because I didn't like the sight of it. I thought it was unattractive. You let nails grow too long, and I'm like, and that's just not okay. And then I found myself clipping it, and honey, I had to stop Layla because Layla was like, Dad, your feet are just not okay, and Mom has all this stuff. I'm gonna start taking care of your feet. So Layla would every week would go and soak her dad's feet and clip. And I said, don't do that. And she said, well, why not? I just want to be supportive. And I said, because your father needs to take care of his own feet. Why are we being more concerned about his feet than he's concerned? He's another child. I refuse. Clip your own damn toenails. I love you though.
What's funny is you said for you it's feet, but for me it's hands. Every guy I've been with, if his fingernails are grown out, like I'm always just like, I used to grab my husband's hands and stuff like, and I'm like, and I just be checking, and I'll clean up under the nails and I'll cut them and I'll file them. So for me, I understand that thing with the foot because I didn't mess with feet, but I was that way with hands. Anybody, we'll be sitting there watching TV. and I'm just like, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's
so
annoying.
yeah. And I'm like, and then you know, I hate when they rub you and like this part be calloused.
The
You know, when
callous,
they have the calluses,
yes.
like what the hell? Like you know,
Yeah,
joints
yeah,
down.
I will go all the way out to Sally's and I'll buy stuff for your
Mhm.
hands and your feet, little scrubs, oils, and a pumice on. We're gonna get all that work together. We gonna get all that dead, dried up skin together. But then it was like, and I don't mind doing it. But then it got to the point he's like, babe, my toenails need to be clipped. And I'm like, and you're gonna have a hissy fit? Over yeah, watch this episode, T. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about ya. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Kyria. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have no input. But
I'm done.
um,
I ain't doing it. Are we talking about Malia's sister? And then we kind of got
yeah,
sidetracked,
I
basically.
was wondering. I was wondering how close her and her sisters were because nothing was ever mentioned about any of her family members standing up to her dad for what he did. So I'm just like, where are your people at? Nobody said anything to him. Not one person in your family. So, but yeah, I thought that was interesting that you said. They have fallen into the mentality of Rose City, so they're on grandma's wavelength. Like, how many more graduations can we go to? We can't get excited. Get a man and then we'll get excited, have a baby and we'll get excited, so I didn't think about that, but that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. They're like, no, because little Oscar has a soccer game that I need to attend. And I'm not saying that your son's soccer game is not important because it absolutely is. But there is something wrong with becoming a Stepford wife. And if you watch the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you have just become brainwashed into believing this is what makes me a good wife. You know what makes me a good wife is balance, is making sure that I take care of me, not just taking, not just like Jesus already died, you know what I'm saying, for our sins. He already laid his life on that cross on Calvary, right? I don't need to give my life. Jesus paid it. He didn't die for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't die that I had to die. He died for him, for our sins. I'm not laying my life down for everybody else. I'm going to do what I can do in the realm of reason. But yeah, her sisters they're not bad people or anything like that, but that's their mentality and their focus. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that for you, sis. Like, I got a man. That's the most important thing in the world to have, honey. Have you a man?
One showed up
Have you a
to
man?
graduation, but yeah, I agree. The other two, they probably, not prioritized. Maybe they probably had nothing else going on, but it was like, okay, this is her third graduation. We'll see you at the wedding. I'll send you a cash app or something. They just. I don't think she's beefing or nobody, is beefing with her or nothing like that. They just didn't didn't show up. We all know that feel. Well, at least I know that
Yeah.
feel. So, yeah.
I think we all know that too.
Mm-hmm. Folk be like,
Yeah, and I think
that's gonna come, but it rained. My hips start hurting.
hey, girl.
Like what?
And that's the truth. Living in the Pacific Northwest, it rains out here quite a bit, and
All the
people use the rain. And no, because it started raining outside. We are experts about rain, so don't
like
hit me up with well, it rained out of nowhere. That's
right.
normal for
I've been in
us.
Washington my whole life and it rained. Okay, sis, that's part of. I mean, I'm surprised that's not in driver's ed for Washington State. Like it rains all the time here. So, yeah, boo.
Mm-hmm.
It rained.
Exactamundo. Yeah. But like Monica said about, or, nobody posted up for her. Everybody's kind of been like, they're gonna deal with that and stay out of it. The way that her sisters are and the way that Nana is very indicative of the Addisons and the Julias of Rose City. Maybe not with the pettiness or the meanness, but everybody is just really on like building that perfect resume for that perfect Black family. Like, it's not about like, I believe I have a village mentality. Like, I believe in the village. I believe in everybody in the village deserves to be supported, celebrated, and loved on. You have some people who have a nucleus mentality where all they want to do is focus on their home and everybody else's house can burn down. Not my problem. I don't think like that. I think if one of my girls are having an issue, I got you, whatever. What can I do? What can I do? That's me. Not like, well, I mean, she's grown, she'll figure it out. I mean, what does she want me to do? Have my own family and my own life. I feel like that's the reason why mental health in our community, is not prioritized. We're not looking at things from a village mentality of like, my sister, my brother, my father, my mother, they're in need. And everything's not even always financially. Sometimes it's just, do you have the people in your life who can talk you through something that you're going through? No, because I'm busy right now. And little angel has you're so focused on your nucleus that you forgot about the village. I feel like we go back to our village mentality where we are celebrating every single thing that a person is doing. Like, it doesn't even always have to be a big milestone. Maybe you got up today and left the house for the first time in 2 weeks. Let's celebrate that. Let's talk about that. Girl, I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. You were able to go back to Walmart after almost being kidnapped. They know what I'm talking about. So it's an inside thing, honey. The police were involved in everything, but we're not going to go there. Go ahead. Next question.
All right. Our next question is, I thought it was sad that the book mentioned that the grandmother and father were criticized for speaking with an accent and only did so with family. Do you still think that there is a problem today in our world where people hide who they are due to fear of judgment? Freaking course. I mean, outside of, your culture, I mean, your race, you being a certain gender, you being a Christian or, any other religion, no matter if you do anything different outside of the people that have an issue with that around, they look at you funny or they, will talk to you a certain way. If you say certain things that trigger them into thinking, oh, I know how you people are, that's all the way across the board. So we see that all the time, every day. And if you don't see it, just turn on your TV for about 5 minutes. Go to the store.
Underneath the rock. Let's call a spade a spade. You need to come up off that rock. Like, come up from underneath that rock. What were you going to say, Letty? Lily, baby.
Hold on. Okay, I'm over here like telling off my cat. He wants to be on the podcast. He's trying too. He's sitting right here.
Cute self.
Do you still think that is a problem today in our world where people hide who they are? Yes. There's a lot of fakes that's I don't know. With me, I just kind of, steer clear of certain people. I can't do the fake. If I know that you guys really act a certain way and talk a certain way, and then you get in front of certain people, I call it, brand new. I don't think I'm the only one that call it that. But you get
Allison.
Right. Hi, I'm Alicia. Blah blah blah. You guys would be like, girl, stop. You know what I mean? So yeah, people will I don't know why, but people do hide to fit in. The whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. I dealt with that recently without telling people's business, where they didn't really have it the way they want to portray
baby
themselves. They act like, I got this in order and I got that and I want you to see this and we're going to let you do this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, but y'all don't though. Like, y'all don't. Like, we literally went shopping, to make the place look a certain way. And I'm like, this isn't how it always is. Like, I'm like,
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Like we're spending all this money and we're setting this up and doing this. Try to impress people. When they come in, it's like, no, because I have and there's nothing wrong with, straightening up a little bit or whatever. But I mean, going out the way to try and like completely change stuff and, you're breaking the bank. You're maxing your cards, you blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you really don't have it like that. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You do all this and then they still gonna talk about you. That's the thing. They'll be like, cheap little motherfucker. like act like
Right
they
there.
do.
I don't care what you do.
See that? You know what I mean?
It's still
What's that phrase? Old money, new money. Like people that got
mm-hmm.
money, like they know when you're trying to put on a front. So, yeah, I think it's a problem today. Nobody's like, there's a lot of
Definitely.
people faking the funk and forming these fake friendships and fake relationships and stuff like that. Like these girls in Rose City, they probably all can't stand each other. Like how
Yeah,
Addison tried to
definitely.
come to Malia and had all them stones, you know what I mean, living in a glass house with all them stones and got the nerve. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
And now all her windows broke out and the roof fell down and collapsed on them as the family.
The whole thing is
Even
done.
a black hole opened up in their backyard and everybody got sucked in. Stop coming for people when you're not ready for that tough stuff, baby. Because I got a boulder, I'm a launcher too, and it's going to destroy your whole world. You feel me?
But you know what? My answer to that question is stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Stop with the fake stuff. Stop with the, we don't want them to think this about us.
Man, we already dealt with that. We're not doing that no more. Our parents are like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Yeah. My mom was so saved. You wouldn't believe the hell that went on at home. But girl, in that church, we had it together.
Mm-hmm. Had it together. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. I believe that, and it's never going to go away. It's never going to go away where people feel like they can't really be themselves. Again, as somebody who has broken out of a lot of that stuff and continue to break out of that, I'm never going back. I don't care who doesn't like what I have to say, how I behave. Like, do yourself a favor, like fall off a cliff, block me, don't have nothing else to do with me. Like, make yourself happy, right? Disappear. Go. But them having to feel like they can use their Creole Southern dialect around their family where it's safe. But around other people, Chet and Wendy, and when are we going fishing again this weekend on the yacht? You don't have to be that way, and we dealt with all that, as parents who were in the church or, owned businesses or had, pretty nice jobs. There was a lot of code switching, and I understand like why some people feel like they have to, like, they're like, girl, I can't be down here at this hospital, at this job, really talking how I really want to talk. Right. Because these people aren't my friends and they're looking for a reason to get rid of you anyway. Right. But if you're supposed to be my friend, there's no way in hell, and I do mean no way in hell, that I'm going to put on a show for you and you're supposed to be my friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that with you. I don't do the fake stuff. That's why people have come and go in my life. Because as soon as I catch one of that fake stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to go. And it's usually a mutually beneficial thing where we both just kind of it dissolves, because I'm not going to do that fake stuff. We don't. One person sitting up here and everybody's laughing and talking. Don't let them go to the bathroom. Everybody's like, no, because you heard that. I mean, the baby could be somebody else. So she was sleeping with two dudes at the same time. And she come back, everybody's, oh yeah, so next week is going to be little Carl Jr.'s birthday. We're not going to do that, because if you want, no, I'm about to go down another rabbit hole, but no, we're not going to do that. Okay. Be yourself. Be comfortable. And Alicia was saying that, there's this feeling of embarrassment because there's low self-esteem wrapped around you being who you are. I've met people from the South and they're like, I hate moving up here to the Northwest, and people are like acting like I'm slow or I'm dumb because I talk with a Southern accent. I'm like, talking with a Southern accent doesn't make you dumb or slow. But then my girl Kyrie moved from the Northwest to Georgia, and then people were like, you sound like a Valley girl. You know what I mean? And like, she was constantly getting it because why are you talking this way? Like she sounded different to them. So no matter where you go, whatever that dominant culture is, you're going to always be viewed as strange or weird. And I say, embrace the strange, embrace the weird, because I can't keep altering who I am to make other people feel comfortable with me. They're never going to like you anyway. So like yourself.
All right.
Player.